time to do our tech news. Kobe Nkrumah is in the studio. How are you?
I'm good.
Good day.
I'm
doing
day.
well. Did you listen to the President's speech?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to ask you what you made of it because this is not the platform for that. But let's talk about news.
Yes.
Facebook is still in the news, and this time we are learning that about 87 million people out of the 1 billion Facebook users,
2 billion now.
2 billion now we know, were victims of the
data scandal.
The data scandal,
Yeah.
the Cambridge Analytica issue. Tell us more about it.
Well, so basically it's that, Cambridge Analytica is a company that profiles users and sells their data to people who want to target these users. So what happened was that a researcher or a professor, he actually created this app where, you've ever seen this thing on Facebook where they ask you, would you like to see who your crush is on Facebook, and you take that test, or would you want to know what you be 10 years from now and you take that test? So when you take these tests, you basically give that app access to your data. And what Facebook hadn't done was that it allowed the app to access your data and your friends' data. So initially it was just about...
So wait a minute. Let's just go one step at a time. So if I didn't take that test, which I've never done, I'm quite, particular about those things.
And I did.
And you did, as my Facebook friend.
Yes.
You have indirectly given
them access
to my account.
Yes. Considering that, let's say, you and I, we interact a lot on Facebook, it means that if I take that test, it has access to you. Because how else would they be able to tell who would have a crush on you? Because they go through that and then they see who you liaise with most of the time.
You're likely to check your interaction level with the person.
Exactly.
Kobe, how is this likely to affect Facebook? We've seen shares drop.
Yes, shares are dropping.
When I tell people about this, they go onto their phones and delete their Facebook app. I know people who've deleted the Messenger, especially the Messenger, because the Messenger is one of the apps that is, gathering information on people's
a lot of privacy.
Devices, not even on the app itself, but on your device as well. What is the future for Facebook? I fear for Facebook.
I am not necessarily afraid for Facebook because, they may be losing shares, but people use Facebook for a lot of things now, for businesses, for interacting with other people all over the world. The thing is, the older generation they may not necessarily use Facebook, but the younger ones who have access to all these other platforms, they may migrate to, say, an Instagram or a Snapchat, but Facebook will still be in there. And then you've also heard that they were actually contacting medical agencies to get data for patients. This is Facebook I'm talking about. Trying to get their data and then they be able to match it with them. So let's say they go to the hospital and they take your data, so they may be able to customize healthcare for you.
Do they have permission to do that?
In America, there's a lot of rules and regulations that stop them from doing these things. So patient privacy is very important in these countries. So they were still in the planning stages and they were hitting a lot of roadblocks, because how do you de-identify that data? How do you make sure that the person who's seeing this data doesn't know who this data is for? They claim that they can do that, but if at the end of the day the aim is to be able to target these people, you're going to have to re-identify that data. So then that was the roadblock they hit. But they claim that they put it on a hiatus because they are not sure about it.
Interesting, Colby. Well, I heard on the news from international media that Mark Zuckerberg is to appear before Congress.
Congress.
So, I mean, this is a big deal, but in our part of the world, we're not taking it as serious as we should, are we?
Our data privacy is not really a problem in this country. Recently, when we had this talk on Geek Squad, a lot of people came in talking about them receiving calls and messages from people who got their numbers from supposedly some institutions, which they never gave permission for. So in a country like this, where these controls are not really in place, it is a problem.
Thank you, Spikey. I'm sure sometime on Geek Squad or one of our tech segments, we'll be educating you on how to protect your data, because this is honestly getting scarier by the day. We'll take a quick breather now for business news. Do stay.